So my friends, let me introduce to you the huge LG QNED evo QNED86. This is LG's very first ultra-large 100-inch TV, and the delivery guys that brought it, it was the first time that they delivered a 100-inch TV. But folks, I've got it all set up, and now this super large mini LED TV is just looking incredible. So you can really appreciate the size. I've brought in a few more TVs for you to see. So in the bottom left corner there is a 55-inch TV. Then you've got a 75-inch TV, and then on the right-hand side is the 100. And it is just incredible the extra space that you get. Now, when we say space, we mean screen real estate. And if you go from a 55 to a 75-inch TV, you'll get an extra 86% more screen area. But if you were to go from a 55-inch to a 100-inch, you'll actually get 230% more screen area. That's almost 2.5 times as big. What about 75-inch? Well, a 75-inch, the 55-inch actually is 46% smaller, but you're getting 78% more screen area just from going from 75 inches to 100 inches. So last year I was able to put a 55-inch and a 75-inch side by side on my unit, and it was obvious the difference in size. But this year I can't do that because the 100-inch is just too big. This is the 75-inch sat in front of the 100-inch, so it's actually giving the perspective of being slightly bigger, but it still is just absolutely dwarfed. It's swamped by the great enormity of that 100-inch screen. It really is like having the cinema in your front room. It is unbelievable, and the picture quality is identical, if not better. It is just such a good experience, and here I am standing next to him, barely able to believe that I once thought that 75-inch was too big. Now, when LG said they were going to be sending me the 75-inch version, I thought, my word, that's going to be too big for my room. But now, that was only 3 years ago, and boy, hasn't it changed. The sizes of TVs are just getting huge. Now, the good news is that the LG QNED86 also comes in other sizes. You can actually get it in 4 sizes: 55-inch, 65-inch, 75, 86-inch, and this 100-inch version. So pretty much everyone is covered. And this forms part of the completely renewed Evo models range, which also includes the QNED 9M and the QNED 92. So although this is a colossal size TV, one thing that really surprised me was how elegant the TV is. It really does still look very, very good, very neat and tidy on that stand. Now, this isn't a thick TV either, considering of how big it is. It's just a little bit thicker than the TV remote, just around 5 centimeters deep, which is incredible. And with the stand being central, it means it will fit on most TV stands that will take the weight. I'll come on to weight in just a second, but it just looks brilliant. This 100-inch beauty is, as you would expect, pretty sturdy in terms of weight, at 75.6 kilos with the stand and 65.9 kilos without. So if you are going to be wall mounting this, just make sure that you've got the appropriate wall mounts and take your time to make sure it is fitted securely. You don't want this thing falling off the wall. But what a beauty this would look wall mounted. In fact, I'm going to plan on doing that in another video. So hang around and check that out in the future. So I've had loads of friends and family round just looking at this TV and are a little bit in awe. But other than the size of the TV, one of the first things they're saying is how the colours are just popping off of the screen, how bright they are, their vibrancy, it's just incredible. And that's because you're getting dynamic QNED colour and 100% colour volume. And I really do hope that the colours are coming across in this video because they look stunning. And in some scenes it really does look like they're just popping off of the screen. But what's also impressive is the dimming technology, and with this TV you're getting LG's new precision dimming technology built in, and that means that it will ensure that every shadow and highlight looks exactly right. This has all been powered by the new AI processor that adapts to what you're watching and gives you the best viewing experience possible. And this means the brighter scenes are excellent, but also the dark scenes and the black level is just fantastic too. The LG QNED86 also features the latest webOS, and as you would expect from LG, this is really intuitive too. It also forms part of the new webOS Renew program, which will give you further software updates over 5 years. Now, one thing that I love with the operating system is the menus. It's just so clear and simple to change everything that you want. But when it comes to the actual picture, if you're not confident doing that, then you can go into Personal Picture Wizard, and this is where the AI processor will help you. You'll choose various different images which you prefer, and then the TV will do all of the hard work and make all of the changes and adapt the TV to your choice. So I've gone through everything and it's come out saying that I like a warm and balanced picture. Now the great news is there is also this for the sound as well, so if you want to change the sound, then you can do that also. Pressing the new AI button on the new Magic Remote will bring up other AI options, like Chatbot for instance, where you can go in and get help with the TV. If the screen's too dark, for instance, you can ask it to brighten the screen. And you've also got AI Search. This you can go in and search for movies, for instance. Show me movies with Tom Cruise. It will then bring up a list of Tom Cruise movies, but if you've got AI Voice OD and you've got different profiles set up, then someone else can then load up their profile.
Hi LG, show me comedy films.
Now, without pressing anything at all, just using the voice recognition service, it's registered that my wife is talking, it's then loaded up her profile and all of her settings, picture settings and things like that, and it will then deliver her the results. And as that person's profile is loaded, even the apps change to the order that that person's profile is set at. If you prefer, you can also use the new Magic Remote as an air mouse and just point and then click on the option that you want. Very simple to do. So there's loads of great features with this TV, but I wanted to run my normal tests and see how well it did. So first of all, we looked at the focus. Now all four corners of the screen should be crystal clear sharp, and I'm pleased to report there is no issue with this TV. They were all very, very sharp indeed, and as you can see as I zoom in very, very close, there's no issue at all. Now sometimes with very, very large screens you can find that the extremities do sometimes struggle, but here there is no issue. Now also, what about dirty screen effect? Well, this is where you can sometimes get some black marks over the screen. So I ran my colors test and it didn't matter what color was on and everything looked really good. Now on the very extremes of the screen there is almost like a slightly darker line, almost as the screen joins the actual rim of the TV, but that's nothing which is going to affect the picture, and you're certainly not going to see any effect of that when watching content on the TV. So this is really good. Another feature which is important to check is the subtitle blooming test, and this is sometimes where you get subtitles on the screen and the TV can glow around the edges of those subtitles, but again there was no obvious signs there. And finally we looked at motion handling, and again there was no problem. This is a 4K 120Hz TV which is capable of going up to 144Hz if you've got a PC plugged in, so motion is great on this machine. Now another feature I really wanted to show you was the precision dimming technology. Now this has that built into the TV, and there's 4 different levels that you can have. You can have it off completely or have it on low, medium or high, and these are the 4 ranges, and it's now very subtle, but what it does, it just gives you extra precise light control with HDR. Now what you're getting with the new AI processor and the fact that you've got the mini LED technology built in and the precision dimming and features like AI super upscaling, well, you're getting this incredible ultra big immersion from just the screen size, but also the technology built in. Just look at the colors that this thing is producing. It is quite phenomenal. Now, watching normal TV on a screen this size is great, but gaming is taken to the next level. The QNED86 just produces the most unbelievable gaming experience. With 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, they'll give you refresh rates up to 144Hz if you have a compatible PC, or 120Hz with something like the PS5. You've also got support for FreeSync Premium, GeForce Now, Game Portal, Variable Refresh Rate, Auto Low Latency Mode, eARC and HGIG. And you still have the hugely popular Game Optimizer, where you can switch between game modes at the touch of a button. Another feature which I was surprised at was the sound. With AI Clear Sound for voices and also the Dynamic Sound Booster, you are getting surprisingly good sound from a TV. And with the downward firing AI Sound Pro with virtual 9.1.2 channels, it does give you that feeling of sound around you. But if you really want to take this to the next level, then we do recommend hooking this up with either a 5.1 or maybe a soundbar and separate sub. Something like the US 95TR is ideal for this TV, and then you can also link it to LG's WOW interface and get all of the benefits of the WOW orchestra, which is absolutely stunning. So my friends, I'm going to summarize now and let you know what I think are the best things about this TV and what you should bear in mind if you're thinking about getting one. Now, the elephant in the room, first and foremost, has to be the size of this thing. Look at what it looks like just from the outside of my house. And once you've gotten over how big it is, you actually get used to this pretty quickly. And most people that have sat down on my sofa in this room have said, I could get used to this. And then the second comment which most people come out with is how bright and vivid the colours are. And I have to say, that is also, whether that's enhanced with the fact that the screen is 100 inches, I don't know. But it is something which did surprise me. It just seems to pop in a way that I've not noticed on a TV before. And I guess the only other things I've had this size were projector screens, which always would be a little bit duller. So this is just incredible. And even in scenes where I didn't expect it to perform as well, where there were a lot of blacks on the screen, again, it did a better job than I was expecting. And that is something which just blew me away, because I thought there's no way that it can do this well. And even showing holiday videos that I took at the beginning of the year just on a DJI Osmo mobile, well, they also looked stunning on this TV as well. So I think what's been achieved is just absolutely fantastic. Not only are you getting the immersion from the size of this thing, but it doesn't let down in terms of picture quality. And whether that is down to the fact that you've got the new processor and the mini-LED technology, but the brightness and vividness of the screen just really goes hand in hand with the size for brilliant immersion. This TV is also a friend to everyone, whether it be the new profile features in webOS or the AI features where you can ask it just to change certain things or find content for you. This is going to really assist many people. And you don't have to use these features, but just knowing that they're there in the background definitely for me is the winner. So my friends, if you're looking for an experience which is just going to make you smile every time you turn this thing on, then definitely check out the LG QNED evo QNED86. It is just a mesmerizing experience, and I recommend you go see it. Links will be in the description for more information, my friends. Thank you so much for watching this video, and let me know if there's any questions and I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll see you on the next.